Richmond Hill Labs, just outside OSU's campus. Graduate students Tanner Price and Zach Byko were testing rockets this past Monday.
It's awesome. It's been my dream to work on this kind of stuff ever since I was 10 years old, and it's just a fulfillment of all my dreams.
Price, Byko, and the rest of Dr. Kurt Rauser's Rocket Advancement Manufacturing Lab.
Again, we'll do everything very small scale, and then as we get smart, we then scale it up to something that could be more applied.
Are doing some real interesting stuff.
These guys have developed their own test stands, their own data acquisition systems. They've designed their own rocket motor.
Rauser is an assistant professor of mechanical and aerospace engineering who retired from the Air Force 7 years ago. In Stillwater, he's like a little kid in a candy store.
When you have an aircraft turbine engine, it's got hot gases going through the turbine driving the compressor.
What Rauser's students are working on for the Air Force would be groundbreaking and could eventually save the U.S. military time and money. Is there anything more valuable? Here's your starting point. Every aircraft is held together by thousands of what are called fasteners. They're made out of metal. Normally, they're installed and removed with a metal drill. Rauser's crew is working on ways to safely use what are called E-drills instead.
What we're working on here currently is ways to remove fasteners, which can take a lot of time because you think about the number of fasteners involved on an aircraft or an engine, and they're very important to remove carefully because you don't want to remove them and leave any kind of mechanical damage or heat affected zones from a process, the removal process itself.
Here's what replacing a fastener with an E-drill looks like. Tinker Air Force Base is excited because E-drills are not just more efficient, it would cut down greatly margins for human error.
It does mean everything. And so hopefully this new technology will prove it with OSU, who is an outstanding, top-notch research facility. And these partnerships may be just the beginning.
There was so much emphasis on the practical implementation, and I think that's where OSU really stands apart, is that this culture that we have here for students to realize the consequences of their engineering design decisions, right? So any aerospace program in the country is going to have students doing design work, but so many of them will stop at the paper level, paper design. But this university, the culture here, we insist on the students going all the way through fabrication and testing, and that gives the students the experience, the kind of learning experience they need to prepare for workload like at Tinker Air Force Base.
And by the way, Tinker is the largest single-site employer in the Sooner State. Tinker employs nearly 26,000 people. 10,000 of those work here in what's known as the Oklahoma City Air Logistics Complex. Just to give you an idea of the scale here, it's a mile long, and you could fit 11 large aircraft in here and no problem.
Oklahoma State is an awesome university. I went there, so I'm a little bit biased. But with their focus on aerospace, both in the structural side and then how they're starting up with their engine focus, it's things that are going to be very, very vital to our future engineers that we hire out of there.
We like to think that we are helping industry. For us, that's what's really important, is helping the industry as well as the DoD and all that we're doing here, as well as developing talent that can work for the industry as well. It's so much fun. It's stuff that you see on TV.
And they make a lot of noise.
Oh yes, lots of noise, lots of fun, lots of hot burning stuff.
How do the neighbors like it?
I think they're okay with it.
I've heard Uber coming up with ideas, create an air taxi that's electric and can carry 6 to 7 people across the city.
Whoa, did you just say Uber?
Yes, I did.
Flying air taxis?
Yep.
When's that going to happen?
Hopefully sometime within the next 10, 15 years.
Really?
Yeah.
And this cannot be said enough. Trade schools also play a major role in acquiring talent here at Tinker.
We're also always hiring sheet metal mechanics, welders, plasma spray operators, things of that nature. So the trade schools in the area are also very, very important. They're vital to our hiring processes. They're vital to they're the people that actually do the wrench turning. And when they come in, say from a convenience store, we hire them from Walmart or something, it's a lot steeper learning curve than it is when we hire somebody from a local trade school that's been working to learn for the last 2 years about how to do sheet metal repair or how to do engine repair. Those things are very important. It helps us be more efficient, and our training programs, we can get through them a lot quickly.
Go to work. The organization is a nonprofit-based organization, fully funded by contributions from the local area. The operation happens 100% volunteer. These are all twin-size beds. That's all we operate with, or that's all we build, and they are for children from the ages of 3 to 17. They could be anywhere from a case to emergency custody case to a DHS situation, anything of that nature. Right now we have about applications for about 130 beds, and I've only got about 24 in my inventory, and this 20 here is going to help us get there a little faster.
To see the faces of these kids once these beds are built and they no longer have to sleep on the floor, it's amazing.
But there's some kids that have never had a bed.
Communities all over Oklahoma are assessing the damage left in the wake of Saturday's deadly tornado outbreak, including downtown Sulphur, which was devastated.
Definitely the most damage since I've been governor that I've seen. I've seen a lot of damage. I've been around the state for, it's my 6th year, but what I saw downtown Sulphur, it's unbelievable.
Governor Kevin Stitt and other officials reacting Sunday morning to what they witnessed on their tour of the Maury County seat in the aftermath of the tornado, which hit the town around 10:30 p.m. on Saturday.
You just can't believe the destruction. Like, it seems like every business in downtown has been destroyed now here in Sulphur.
A woman lost her life during the tornado, striking this downtown bar. The other people inside managed to escape with few injuries. House Speaker Charles McCall also on hand and committing legislative help to the cities impacted by the twisters.
We will rise, we'll clean up, we'll rebuild, and we'll move forward. And we'll be here every step of the way with Sulphur and the other communities across the state as we move forward and seek restoration.
These severe springtime storms show us once again what they can do. In fact, the tornado here in Sulphur, look behind me. Those shirts in that shop are still folded. Shortly after the governor's group left the wasteland that used to be downtown Sulphur, business owners began figuring out a way forward.
I just couldn't wait to come here today and just see it, touch it, really accept that it's real. So it's just a process, and I'm having to take it minute by minute, really.
Gary Minch and his family started JJ's Furniture Store more than 2 decades ago.
We've had this business for 24 years, and we started the business with $30 in a used couch, and we built our way up to this. And the whole time, from day one to now, it's just been my family and I, with employees kind of coming and going.
Minch and his family are planning to keep things going in Sulphur.
It's been nothing but hard work and just pushing through adversity. So this is nothing new. We're going to be back, and we're probably going to be bigger.
He's glad his family survived.
And it's kind of a bittersweet thing, man, because I look across the cellar and I see my kids and my wife, and I know everyone's okay, but I know that everything I've ever worked for, put together, my father, my wife, my mom, is being torn apart, and there's nothing I can do.
Power outages spread across the state, with 43,000 reported without power after the storms.
Crews were busy restoring power to the Holdenville area on Sunday. Nearby a home destroyed, but everyone got out safe.
Started hearing a bunch of winds. The train sound that everybody says is not real.
18-year-old James Davis, his brother and their dog rode out the Holdenville tornado that struck just outside of town about 10:45 p.m. Saturday.
I ran to the living room, which is probably where my fridge is now. And then me and him met in the living room, both got on the floor, and we got underneath the table that we had in our living room, and that's when it hit us. As soon as we got underneath the table, man, it just completely obliterated the house.
While he's glad he survived, unfortunately, the Holdenville tornado did not spare the life of a man and a 4-month-old baby. Another death happened on I-35 in Marietta. A driver was killed on the highway as the EF4 tornado tore through the southern Oklahoma town at about 11 o'clock Saturday night. The damage brought FEMA Administrator Deanne Criswell to the Love County town to see for herself on Tuesday.
First off, just on behalf of the president, we just, want to say how much our heart aches for the loss of life and the impacts that these communities have experienced from these multiple tornadoes that went across your state.
Criswell notes that there will be a larger response from the federal government than just FEMA itself. The stunning damage to Marietta's largest employer, the Dollar Tree Distribution Center, can be clearly seen from I-35. Of course, other small businesses were impacted.
We have small businesses that are looking for small business loans at low interest to try to rebuild. That's exceptionally important to this community and several other communities as well, because that is not only the people, the jobs, the families that have been there for a long time, but just a function of the economy of that community.
Marietta Mayor Kermit McKinney has been reassured by Dollar Tree that the employees will be taken care of, and they will work to get the distribution center back up and running.
Oh yeah, our one and only grocery store. We're missing. We still have Family Dollar, but there's no produce in that type of groceries for them.
The town's only grocery store, Homeland, was blown away right along with a Dollar General on Saturday night. Now the townspeople still have access to food because of an emergency shelter that's set up at the fairgrounds, but the mayor of Marietta says they're planning on rebuilding bigger and better.
We're about to take you live.
Marietta's hospital, the Mercy Love County Health Center, also struck by the twister with patients and staff inside.
Right now we're totally closed except for our EMS. Our ambulances are running, so if you call 911 we can respond.
The 8 patients staying in the hospital and the 2 others who were in the ER were transferred safely after the storm, and Mercy is working to set up temporary health care facilities in Marietta. Of course, all the damage across the state means insurance adjusters are out in full force. Oklahoma Insurance Commissioner Glenn Mulready says property owners can take action to help the process.
Try to secure your property as best as possible. So, whether that's putting tarps on the roof or windows, but securing your property from further damage or further loss.
He also suggests to report the damage to the state.
Whether they're going to file a claim or not, report the damage to the state, because that's what allows us to, as a state, to trigger potentially some federal assistance.
The state website to report storm damage is damage.ok.gov, where a person will be asked to provide some basic information.
Just like several past stormy springs here in Oklahoma, these Oklahomans are promising they're going to be resilient and rebuild. From Sulphur, Jason Doyle, the Oklahoma News Report.
You wanted to show me, I want to see which one is your aunt.
My aunt, right here. That's the little daughter.
She's still alive?
She is still alive. That's the one that's 102.
Delma Smith was born in Redbird on New Year's Eve, 1932. Franklin Roosevelt had just defeated Herbert Hoover in a landslide in response to the Great Depression.
Yes, that was the best thing that ever happened to this town.
Smith's a walking encyclopedia when it comes to this proud little town.
We're here, and we're not going anywhere. We're here. I love Redbird. So I still live on land that my mother and father purchased in the 40s.
Redbird got its name, at least partially, because of the fact there were so many cardinal birds or redbirds in the area back in the day. The town sits along the Missouri, Kansas, Texas, or MKT Railroad, 34 miles southeast of Tulsa in Wagner County. Redbird once boasted a train station, 2 cotton gins, a lumber yard, a blacksmith, a syrup mill, hotels, even a casket factory. The first school opened here in 1913. Redbird's rich history also came with a lot of heartache. During the 1920 Tulsa Race Massacre, Redbird reportedly was the first black town whose residents stood guard on the MKT Railroad tracks and protected other blacks who had fled and fought back against the racists and killers who had driven them there. In the early 1920s, after he'd been excluded from voting in a handful of elections, Redbird resident I.W. Lane sued for that right. He took it all the way to the U.S. Supreme Court and won the historic case.
Thank God somebody fought for us.
68-year-old Edna Davis is Delma Smith's daughter. She says she also remembers the Ku Klux Klan burning down her grandmother's house 6 decades ago.
It's hard to believe that somebody here couldn't vote. It's hard to believe that when the race riots came out, that some of my neighbors and friends that I have now got in the back of a truck and City of Tulsa turned them around and said, no, you can't go to Tulsa and protest. You got to go back to Redbird and keep your mouth shut. Some of those people are still living. And that still hurts.
It sounds to me like there's some people in the world that like to turn around and go back to that time.
Yes. That's our history. And we put it out so that people can see.
But there were so many good memories and good times that flowed from the town of Redbird, too. Keith Ties is Redbird born and raised. He's a National Guard veteran who went on to a 20-plus year career as an over-the-road heavy truck driver, an odyssey that took him all over the U.S. and then some. What was that like?
It was an experience. I was young and dumb and ready to go. I never got home every 7 days, maybe, sometime 2 weeks, but.
Keith says he came back to Redbird 12 years ago to care for his dying mother and stayed.
Especially because of our upbringings, things that we were raised to learn and do. Children nowadays won't ever get to experience it, and they'll never have the respect that we have because of the way we were raised here in Redbird. This small community has put out some giants, and they come from people that loved us and raised us well.
We were raised to respect each other, to work, and to go to school. And that's what we did. Everybody disciplined you when you were wrong. You could get the backhand of hallelujah from any adult that saw you out there doing something you had no business.
Delma Smith says Redbird's population decline began when World War II began. Many in the town that once boasted over 1,000 sought work in larger population centers where there was an explosion of good-paying industrial jobs, but also jobs that eventually died out and went away.
That's what started, yes, that's what started it. Started the migration.
More than 8 decades later, Redbird's population hovers around 160. Redbird's post office officially closed back in 2014. But they still make do with a mailroom.
We also post town events or surrounding area events in there as well.
Darrell Moore is Redbird's mayor.
I don't mind helping out anybody that's in need, and I consider everybody in Redbird my family. So
you're not mayor because of the money.
That was a good one. No, absolutely not.
Moore says there are signs of a Redbird rebirth. In the past 10 years, the town has used several grants to transform what used to be a concrete basketball court into an air-conditioned community center.
We've been able to host events just for the town. We have had our Christmas parties in here, some Thanksgiving get-togethers. People have rented it out for birthday parties, baby showers. People have used it for wakes, funerals. We have a cemetery out on 181st Street. Just town events we have. We'll utilize the park and this building for a cooling station. It's made a big difference in what we've been able to do out here for the town.
The old town hall building is being renovated into a museum. Water and gas systems are being renovated, and the mayor says business people are kicking the tires on ventures to establish a new thrift shop, barber shop, and maybe even a new grocery store. So don't sleep on Redbird.
Right. Yeah, we're coming back. We're coming back. Say it's a slow process, but we're doing everything we can.
Moore says even today, Redbird doesn't forget and draws strength from I.W. Lane, whose name also adorns street signs here.
Absolutely. It's good to know that somebody from here can make that much of a change for everyone. I mean, it goes without saying, somebody always has to come from somewhere to make a change, and anybody can do it, just nobody will. So for somebody to actually stand up not just for themselves, but for everybody else, it's incredible.